So why did we cut open a mammoth tusk? We did it for science. We are studying Schrieger patterns, which are these little intersecting kind of V-shaped lines that you can find in the cross sections of tusks. Unfortunately, you can only find them in the cross sections. They're basically like the outside pattern of the tree ring of the tusk. So you do have to cut open the tusk in order to see them. The Western Science Center very kindly offered up this super nasty tusk as a willing sacrifice for our research. The tusk is really not in great condition. It is 9 feet long, and it looks like it's a complete tusk, and it is not. What you see on the outside, that brown rind, that's a toupee of glue and sand. It's not actually the original cementum or the outside casing of the tooth. It's just more dentine. And dentine, somewhat famously among people who study teeth of any kind, not real hard typically. So unfortunately, prior to this tusk being preserved in sand, it lost the hard outer rind and it was decomposing essentially in the water. And as you can see, that decomposition did some damage. So as a result, the preparation team about 5 years ago at the Western Science Center decided that there was nothing that they could do for this tusk. And that meant that despite it being a pretty cool looking thing, they've got lots and lots of other tusks there. And this one cannot be put on display because honestly, they were shocked that it survived being transported 200 feet from the preparation lab to the collections vault once the jacket was open and the tusk was exposed. That's how bad this thing is. So it can't be put on display. And because you can't touch it without it falling apart, you kind of can't do too much research on it. It's also not the actual outside of the tusk. So the thing that it's really good for is the scientific study of the inside of the tusk. But that does require still kind of cutting it open. And it turns out that falling apart is actually kind of great for research like mine, where we have to cut into the center like a Tootsie Pop. So what we are looking at with Schrieger lines is we are looking at how they change as the animal grows, and we're looking to see if they actually reflect more a change in tusk size than they do actual species difference. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, I've talked quite a few times on this channel about how Schrieger lines, the original research that said they diagnose elephants from fossil mammoths and mastodons, that research has fundamental flaws. That's why we're cutting into this thing. Even though, yes, we are sacrificing the tusk, it's not going to come back from this. We are doing so that we can help make sure that poachers cannot pass off their modern elephant ivory as either mammoth or mastodon. Effectively, Schrieger lines should not be used to identify modern ivory, pretty much full stop. But we have to